All right, let's talk about something that just doesn't seem to add up. We're diving into the AirAsia paradox. How on earth did an airline that built its entire brand on being cheap, on being the budget option, also end up being a world beater when it comes to customer service? It sounds impossible, right? Well, let's get into it.
I mean, really think about that question. How does a budget airline, the kind you'd expect to have cramped seats and zero frills, get named the world's best for 14 straight years? This isn't just a lucky streak. It's a sign that something very, very smart is going on behind the scenes. And we're going to break that strategy down.
So, let's rewind a bit. Back in 2001, their whole mission was incredibly simple. Now everyone can fly. The goal was to slash costs to make air travel accessible to millions who couldn't afford it before. But you and I both know what usually happens when you cut costs, right? Customer service is the first thing to go. So, what did AirAsia do differently?
Well, here's the thing. Their success isn't some kind of corporate magic trick. It's not a fluke. It is a carefully designed blueprint, a repeatable system for delivering amazing service without breaking the bank.
And that blueprint has a name. It's called the SERVQUAL model. Now that might sound a little academic, but the idea is actually super simple. It's all about measuring the gap between what customers think they're going to get and what they actually get. If you can make that experience just a little bit better than the expectation, you win. And wow, has AirAsia mastered this.
Okay, so this SERVQUAL model basically gives us a 5-ingredient recipe for awesome service. You've got tangibles, reliability, responsiveness, assurance, and empathy. Think of these as the building blocks. Let's see how AirAsia uses every single one of them.
First up, we've got tangibles. This is all the physical stuff, the things you can see and touch. It's the look of the plane, the feel of the seats, the uniform of the crew. It's your first impression, and for a budget airline, this is usually where things start to look, well, cheap. But AirAsia is smart about it. They invest in things that make a big impact for a low cost. You'll notice their planes are clean, the cabins feel modern, and those iconic red uniforms look sharp and professional. And get this, they even treat their app as a tangible. The AirAsia Super App is sleek and easy to use, creating a great impression before you're even at the airport.
All right, ingredient number 2, reliability. This one is huge in the airline business. It really boils down to one simple thing. Did you keep your promise? Did you get me from point A to point B safely and on time? It's the absolute bedrock of trust.
And just look at this number, an 85% on-time performance rate in 2023. For a low-cost carrier that is flying a crazy number of routes every single day, that is seriously impressive. It shows they're not just cheap, they're consistent. They deliver on that fundamental promise.
Now for number 3, responsiveness. Okay, so this is all about speed. When you've got a problem, a question, a flight change, how quickly can you get help? We've all been stuck in that customer service nightmare, right? Well, this is about avoiding that.
So how does a budget airline offer instant, round-the-clock support? You can't just hire thousands of people for a call center. The answer? You get smart with technology. Meet Ask Bo, their 24/7 AI chatbot. It handles all the common questions and problems instantly, which is a perfect way to be super responsive while keeping your costs way down. Moving on to ingredient number 4, assurance. This one's a feeling. It's that sense of confidence you get that you're in good hands. It's knowing the crew is well-trained, the airline is safe, and the whole operation is professional. It's about building trust. And what better proof of that trust is there than this? You just don't get voted world's best low-cost airline by Skytrax 14 years in a row unless your customers feel incredibly confident flying with you. This award is basically the ultimate seal of approval.
And that brings us to the final, and maybe the most important ingredient, empathy. This is the human touch. It's about seeing your customers as people, not just seat numbers. It's about understanding that a business traveler has different needs than a family on vacation.
And AirAsia really does this well. They offer different products like Premium Flex or a quiet zone for those who want it. They provide extra help for elderly passengers, but I think their true colors showed during the pandemic. Their flexible policies on flight changes and credits showed they actually understood the stress their customers were under. That builds incredible loyalty.
Okay, so here's the real secret sauce. It's not about any one of these ingredients. You can't just be reliable or just have a nice-looking plane. The magic happens when you weave all 5 of these things together.
Let's just look at this side by side. The expectation for a budget airline? Late departures. The AirAsia experience? 85% on time. You expect horrible customer service, you get instant AI support. You expect a worn-out, basic cabin? You get something clean and modern. See what's happening? At every single point, they know your expectation is low, and they deliberately aim just a little bit higher.
And that brings us right back to that simple formula. True customer satisfaction happens when the reality of the experience is better than the expectation. AirAsia has weaponized this idea. By keeping their prices low, they manage our expectations. But then, by delivering on those 5 key ingredients, tangibles, reliability, responsiveness, assurance, and empathy, they make sure the actual experience blows that low expectation out the water.
So, the big lesson here? What AirAsia teaches all of us is that high-quality service isn't about spending a ton of money. It's not about luxury. It's about being smart, it's about being incredibly efficient, having real empathy for your customers, and using innovation to solve problems.
And that really leaves us with one final thought. If a low-cost airline can pull this off so brilliantly, what other industries out there really need to learn this lesson? You know, from your bank to your cell phone provider, who else should be taking a page out of AirAsia's book? Something to think about.